everyone, so our group will be presenting about the sentiment analysis of Spider-Man No Way Home. First of all, I will be presenting on the summary of study. So the study method, in terms of our study method, we analyze online public reviews of Spider-Man No Way Home to understand audience emotions and opinions. We use natural language processing, specifically text pre-processing and sentiment classification models to clean data and automatically identify patterns and emotions in the review. This approach has allowed us to analyze a large number of reviews objectively and efficiently. The key themes from this sentiment analysis, from our topic modeling findings, several key themes has emerged. The most noticeable themes included the multiverse concept, the return of previous villains, and a strong emotional narrative. Nostalgia and cross-franchise integration has played a very important role and were major reasons behind the movie's high audience approval, especially among the long-time Spider-Man fans. Next is the sentiment findings. In terms of sentiment findings, the overall response was largely positive. Positive sentiment was driven by nostalgia, emotional storytelling, and the performance of the three returning Spider-Man characters. However, there were also negative sentiments, mainly related to the complex plot, the crowded cast, and what some viewers felt was an over-reliance on fan service. Overall, the findings show that Spider-Man No Way Home was highly appreciated emotionally, but also divisive with opinions depending on audience expectations. Hi everyone, so our group will be presenting about the sentiment analysis of Spider-Man No Way Home. First of all, I will be presenting on the summary of study. So the study method, in terms of our study method, we analyze online public reviews of Spider-Man No Way Home to understand audience emotions and opinions. We use natural language processing, specifically text pre-processing and sentiment classification models.
Reviews are one of the ways for the consumer to express their thoughts and opinions about something, which can be either positive or negative. In this modern era, anyone can make a review on any platforms and can be presented in any various forms, including star ratings, written opinions, video reviews, and other media. All the reviews are based on the preference of each audience, where there is no true or false. Lastly, movie reviews include the reviews about soundtracks, character development, storylines, CGI, and cinematography. Spider-Man No Way Home is one of the movies that attract the audience to review, as this movie includes various fields, especially the editing skills. These are the challenges for Marvel to satisfy the audience, as this movie is being served to international consumers that follows the Marvel series from the beginning. Reviews are one of the ways for the consumer to express their thoughts and opinions about something, which can be either positive or negative. In this modern era, anyone can make a review on any platforms and can be presented.
For the research objective, there are two types of analysis, which are descriptive and predictive. For descriptive, there are 5 objectives. First is distribution of star rating of review. Second, distribution of review status by sentiment. Third, most word use of reviews. Fourth, a distribution of review over quarter of years 2022. And the last one is percentage of review status by star rating. For the predictive analysis, the objective is to determine which model is the best for the movie reviews among 3 different models, which are KNN, naive bias, and decision tree.
For literature review, sentiment analysis of movie reviews. Based on previous research, sentiment analysis has been widely used to analyze movie reviews in order to understand audience opinions and emotional responses. Movie reviews are particularly suitable for sentiment analysis because they contain subjective opinions that reflect viewers' satisfaction or dissatisfaction with a film. Techniques used in sentiment analysis. In terms of techniques, many studies have applied machine learning models such as KNN, naive bias, and decision tree for sentiment classification. These models are commonly used due to their simplicity, interpretability, and effectiveness in classifying textual data into positive or negative sentiment. The third one is challenges in movie review sentiment analysis. Previous studies also highlighted several challenges in movie review sentiment analysis. Reviews often contain mixed sentiments such as sarcasm, informal language, which can reduce classification accuracy. This makes sentiment analysis of movie reviews more complex compared to other types of text data. Next is sentiment analysis of superhero and franchise movies. Studies focusing on superhero and franchise movies suggest that audience sentiment tends to be highly polarized. This is mainly due to strong fan engagement, high expectation, and emotional attachment to characters and storylines. Lastly is the research gap. Despite all the extensive research on sentiment analysis of movie reviews, there is limited research focusing on individual blockbuster film. Therefore, this study addresses this research gap by applying established machine learning techniques to analyze audience sentiments towards Spider-Man No Way Home reviews. For literature review, Sentiment analysis of movie reviews. Based on previous research, sentiment analysis has been widely used to analyze movie reviews in order to understand audience opinions and emotional responses. Movie reviews are particularly suitable for sentiment analysis because they contain subjective opinions that reflect viewers' satisfaction or dissatisfaction with a film. Techniques used in
Next, for sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis, a branch of natural language processing (NLP), is an effective method for examining public opinions and emotions expressed in textual data. This project aims to analyze viewers' sentiments toward film of Spider-Man No Way Home. In our project, we collected the dataset from Internet Movie Database. By analyzing viewers' feedback, it may help filmmakers, cultural critics, and media researchers to identify trends in sentiment and provide information about emotional tones and attitudes expressed by individuals. This approach is essential for evaluating the success and impact of media products like movies. Next, for sentiment analysis. Sentiment analysis, a branch of natural language processing (NLP), is an effective method for
The first phase in CRISP-BM is the business understanding. In general, understanding the goals and needs of the project from a business perspective is the main priority of this first phase. Marvel is one of the largest entertainment brands that has produced many iconic films and comics, with Spider-Man standing out as one of the most internationally recognized action character films in recent years. This project aims to analyze the audience perception or opinions about specifically Spider-Man No Way Home. All the information and feedbacks are gathered from IMDb website, and natural language processing (NLP) technique will be used to recognize emotion tone and extract trend of reviewer feedback. Sentiment analysis that applied in this project will provide valuable feedback on improving Marvel's production. The first phase in CRISP-BM is the business understanding. In general, understanding the goals and needs of the project from a business perspective is the main priority of this first phase. Next is the data understanding. We managed to obtain the data reviews from IMDb website and able to gather 1,290 data reviews in total. Since our focus is on reviews and audience comments, the appropriate data type is text. It is a bit challenging to standardize reviews since many of the written text in different languages, format, and have some errors. Next is the data understanding. We managed to obtain the data reviews from IMDb website.
For the data preparation, start with data collection, where the data of movie reviews with range of rating from 1 to 10 was scraped from one MDB website. And all of the total data scraped is 1,458 of reviews. After that, next is the data labeling, where the numerical ratings of 1 until 10 were converted into sentiment classes manually, which are whether it's in negative, positive, or neutral rating. After that, the data structuring is where the scraped data is organized into a tabular format in Microsoft Excel. And next, I continue with the data cleaning, where the data that contains emoji and meaningless sentences is removed from the data. And after that, the balance of the total data is only 1,293. After the data cleaning, continue with the data splitting with the proportion of 80 and 20, where the 80 is a proportion of where 80 is a training set and 20 is a testing set. Next, data import, where the data from the Excel is load into RapidMiner. And the last one is model training and testing, where the model is trained using training dataset and test using testing set. And the last step is evaluate the performance of the model.
For evaluation phase, the dataset contains a sufficient number of text entries to support sentiment analysis, allowing the identification of positive and negative sentiment. So this inspection shows that most comments express clear opinions using emotional language indicate strong sentiment richness. However, several data quality issues were identified, including the presence of unmeaningful comment, short form, and emojis. These issues may introduce noise and affect the accuracy of sentiment classification. Plus, potential bias exists as the data source is from online fan communities, which may overrepresent positive sentiment. So, the sentiment classification model was evaluated using RapidMiner's performance operator. The key evaluation metrics, including accuracy, precision, and recall, were analyzed to assess the effectiveness of the model, and a coefficient matrix was used to examine the distribution of correctly and incorrectly classified sentiment categories. So, in the deployment phase, we can identify the comments, either it is positive or negative, by identifying the keywords in the review. These keywords suggest that the audience frequently discuss the emotional impact in the movie. Next, the output data was exported in the CSV format to support further analysis and reporting. So the visualization generated by Tableau were used to summarize the overall sentiment distribution. These findings can be utilized by the movie studios and marketing team to understand the audience. Additionally, the RapidMiner process can be reused with the dataset to continuously monitor audience sentiment. So, to identify the most suitable predictive model for sentiment analysis, multiple classifiers were evaluated using RapidMiner, such as KNN, naive Bayes, and decision tree models, were trained and tested using the same dataset and pre-processing steps. And the cross-validation was applied to ensure a fair comparison. Based on the evaluation matrices, the model achieved the highest accuracy will indicate superior performance in classifying sentiment compared to the other models, and it will be selected as the final predictive model for deployment.
For the background dataset, it consists 1,290 total data. It have 4 attributes, which firstly user review for comment by user, secondly rating scale from user, third review date the review given by user, lastly review status, either negative or positive review by the user. For the background dataset, it consists 1,290.
Okay, next we go to the data scraping process. So for the Spider-Man No Way Home review, we will use the web scraping method, which we will scrape the movie review from the website. So the first step is we install the Instant Data Scraper tools from the Google Chrome. And next, we will activate the Instant Data Scraper extension tool for the web scraping process from the IMDb websites of the Spider-Man movie review. Okay, next we go to the data scraping process. So for the Spider-Man No Way Home, okay, next we will customize the data selection. So for the movie review, we will scrape the review about 150 for each star rating, which is from the 1-star rating to 10-star rating. And after settle the scraping process, we will download the extracted data of the Spider-Man No Way Home movie review. Okay, next we will customize the data selection. So for the movie review,
in this dataset, rating, user review, and date review are treated as attributes because they provide descriptive information about each review. The review status is used as class label as it represents the output that the model is trained to predict.
Now we move to the data pre-processing process. So based on the graphic, this is the raw data set of Spider-Man No Way Home movie review. So if we look at the graphic, there is some link and unwanted attribute. So we will remove the link and the unwanted attribute for the data cleaning process. Now we move to the data pre-processing process. So based on the graphic, next after we clean the link and the unwanted attribute, we will get the new dataset that consists of 3 attributes, which is first the star rating, the user review, and also the review date. Next, we will use the manual tagging for the review status classification on the positive and negative review of the movie. And also we will adjust the user review by adjusting the short form and also the mixed meaning of the word in the review. Next, after we clean the link and the unwanted attribute, we will get the new dataset that consists. To enhancing the data cleaning process, we will use the RapidMiner for the data cleaning process. So the first step, we will retrieve the user review dataset. And the second step, we will set the review status as the label. And the third step, we will select the user review and also the review status attribute for our new dataset. And the fourth step, we will convert the user review nominal data type into the text format. And the fifth step, we will apply the text into the process document, which is the transform the review to the lower cases. And the last step, we will extract the dataset, and the new dataset we will use for the sentiment analysis. To enhancing the data cleaning process, we will use the rapid miner for the data cleaning process. So the first step, we will retrieve the user review dataset, and the second
This project have 5 objectives for descriptive analysis. To obtain the first objective for descriptive analysis, it is to see the distribution of star rating review. We use bar charts. Each column represents star ratings from 1 to 10. Overall, the number of reviews is relatively balanced across all rating categories, indicating that users provided range of opinions rather than clustering around a single rating. The highest frequency are observed for ratings 3 with 141 reviews, followed by 9 and 10 star ratings with the same number of reviews, which is 140, suggesting that users tend to give both moderately low and very high ratings.
For second data description entitled Distribution of Review Status by Sentiment, from the horizontal bar chart, we can clearly see that negative reviews are higher than positive reviews. Negative reviews record approximately 750 responses, whereas positive reviews are around 530 responses. This indicates that a larger proportion of users express dissatisfaction compared to satisfaction. Such a pattern suggests potential issues related to product quality, service performance, or user experience that need further investigation. Overall, this chart highlights the importance of focusing on areas that contribute to negative feedback, as improving this aspect could help increase positive user sentiment in the future. For second data description entitled Distribution of Review Status by Sentiment, from the horizontal bar chart, we can clearly see that negative reviews are higher.
This slide analyzes the most frequently used words in audience reviews of Spider-Man No Way Home, giving us insight into overall viewer sentiment. On the left side, the frequency table shows how often each word appears, while the word cloud on the right visually emphasizes the most commonly mentioned terms. The dominance of words like amazing, great, best, and good clearly reflects a strong positive reception. This suggests that many viewers found the movie exciting and emotionally satisfying. Additionally, words such as nostalgia, fan, and fun indicate that nostalgia played a major role in audience enjoyment, especially for long-time Spider-Man fans familiar with previous films. Despite the positive terms, negative terms like disappointing, boring, overrated, and worst are still present. This shows that some viewers felt the movie relied too much on fan service or did not live up to the hype. Overall, this word analysis suggests that Spider-Man No Way Home was highly successful and emotionally impactful, but also polarizing, with opinions varying based on audience expectations. This slide analyzes the most frequently used words in audience reviews of Spider-Man No Way Home, giving us insight into overall viewer sentiment. On the left side, the frequency table shows how often each word appears, while the word cloud on the right visually emphasizes the most commonly mentioned terms.
This chart is an area chart titled Distribution of Reviews over Quarters of Year 2022. From the chart, we can observe a declining trend in the number of reviews throughout the year. The highest number of reviews occurs in Quarter 1 with approximately 440 reviews. This number then decreased significantly in Quarter 2, around 160 reviews, followed by a further decline in Quarter 3 and reaching the lowest point in Quarter 4 with fewer than 20 reviews. This downward trend suggests that user engagement or review activity reduced as the year progressed. Overall, this area chart effectively highlights the trend and pattern of users' reviews across different quarters in 2022. This chart is an area chart titled Distribution of Reviews over Quarters of Year 2022. From the chart, we can observe a declining trend in the number of reviews throughout the year.
The 100% stacked bar charts illustrate the percentage distribution of negative and positive reviews across star ratings from 1 to 10. For lower star ratings 1 to 3 are dominated by negative reviews, while ratings 4 and 5 remain mostly negative. A clear shift occurs from rating 6 onwards, where positive reviews increase significantly. Rating 7 to 10 are predominantly, with rating 10 showing 100% positive reviews. Overall, higher star ratings strongly correspond to more positive review sentiment. The 100% stack bar charts illustrate the percentage distribution of negative and positive reviews across star ratings from 1.
Now we move to the predictive analysis. So we will use the sentiment analysis for the Spider-Man No Way Home movie review that involves the using data such as textual movie review on performing the sentiment analysis. By using RapidMiner, we can produce a classifier model that can determine the polarity of the data that had been obtained and also evaluate the model's accuracy. A classifier algorithm is a type of machine learning algorithm that used to classify the data, like predicting whether the movie will get the positive or negative review. So the model classifier algorithm that we use are the KNN, decision tree, and also the naive Bayes. Now we move to the predictive analysis. So we will use the sentiment analysis for the Spider-Man No Way Home movie review that involves the using data such as textual movie review on. So for the predictive analysis, the dataset will split into two parts, which is the training dataset with 1,041 reviews, and for the testing dataset, we will use 249 reviews. So the splits follow the standard of 80 and 20 ratio. Training set is used to build a classification model, while testing set is used to determine the model's accuracy. So for the predictive analysis, the dataset will split into two parts, which is the training. Okay, now we move to the step 1, which is the retrieve operator. We will retrieve the training dataset into the sentiment analysis in RapidMiner. And second step is the set role operator, and we set the review status as the label for the target variable. Okay, now we move to the step 1, which is the retrieve operator. So the third step is the nominal to text operator. This operator will convert the nominal data type of the user review into the text format. So the third step is the nominal. Step 4, we will use the process document from data operator, as this operator will process the text data into documents with the TF-IDF vector creation. Step 4, we will use the process Step 5. In the process document operator, we will use 4 operator, which is first, the transform cases, tokenize, filter stop word, and also the stamp order. So the transform cases, we will transform the text data to the lower cases. Tokenize on sorting the data text into the word by word. The filter stop word will use on filtering the English stop words such as and also the. And stamp order is used to reduce the English word to their root word by applying the Porter stemming algorithm. Step 5. In the process document operator, we will use 4 operator, which is first, the transform cases, tokenize. Step 6, the cross-validation operator. So this operator will use to ensure the model's durability. So for this study, we will use 10 number of fold. Step 6, the cross-validation operator. Step 7, we will repeat the same step of the training dataset, but we will apply 3 operator for the testing dataset, which is the retrieve operator, nominal to text operator, and also process document from data operator. So this step is on ensuring the consistency of the data. Step 7, we will repeat the same step of the training data. Step 8, the apply model operator. So this operator we will use to apply a trained model to the new and unlabeled testing dataset to generate the prediction. Step 8, the apply model operator.
The first predictive model in the study is KNN model where k equal to 10. It means that the model will consider the 10 nearest neighbors when classifying a new data point. And k equal to 10 because a higher value of k can make the model more stable but may reduce sensitivity to local patterns. Also, it can reduce the overfitting while maintaining the responsiveness to the pattern. So based on the model accuracy is 66.38%, which means that the model correctly predicted the sentiment of reviews about 66.38% of the time. Second, the recall of the model is 96.24%. It indicates that the model correctly identified 96.24% of actual negative reviews. And the last one is the precision of the model is 23.95%. It means that the model correctly classified the actual positive reviews by 23.95%. Next, second predictive model in this study is naive Bayes model. Based on the result, it shows that the accuracy of naive Bayes model is 65.32%. It indicates that the model correctly predicted the sentiment of reviews about 65.32% of the time. For the recall, it shows that 52.21%. That means the model of naive Bayes is correctly identified 52.21% of actual negative reviews. And the last one is the precision is 83.95%, which means the model is correctly classified the actual positive reviews by 83.95%. Last predictive model in the study is decision tree model. Based on the result, it shows that the accuracy of decision tree is 61.58%. That means the model of the decision tree is correctly predicted the sentiment of reviews about 61.58% of the time. Next, the recall of the decision tree model is 97.55%. It means that the model correctly identified 97.55% of actual negative reviews. And the last one is the precision of decision tree model is 10.47%. It indicates that the model correctly classified the actual positive reviews by 10.47%. Based on the table of model comparison among three different models, it shows that accuracy of KNN is the highest among all these three models, which is 66.38%, compared to naive Bayes, which is only 65.82%, and decision tree is 61.58%. Therefore, it concludes that KNN model is selected as the best model in predictive analysis. The explanation is because the KNN can generalize well to unseen data and can balance precision and recall effectively. However, naive Bayes has a lower precision for positive predictions and has more misclassifications. For the decision tree, it has a prone to overfitting and also less stable with noisy data. So the conclusion is the best model in predictive analysis is KNN. Before we end, I would like to say thank you for watching the presentation of sentiment analysis of movie reviews for the title of Spider-Man No Way Home. That's all from our group. Thank you.